And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
And not only does he have all the skills that you're looking for as a quarterback, he's incredibly tough and plays the game fearlessly as both a runner and a passer. You provide a good running game around him and let him throw deep off of play action, you've got an all-star in the making.
Fields passing on the first play from scrimmage. And incomplete to open things up.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. The first carry now for Tony Pollard. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. That's caught over the middle by Fant. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Lions will take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their 3rd-year quarterback.
And what a performance he is coming off of. I know that this is a different era of football where we're throwing it around a heck of a lot more, but still, over 500 yards passing.
500.
That's phenomenal, incredible. Let's see if he can take last week's.
And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Lions will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood. Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Fields. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Fields on first down. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Fields. And this will be incomplete.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
From the gun on 3rd down, Fields. Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. No surprise there. Chase Young wrecks that play with a sack. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase him.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Herron escaping the pressure right. That throw taken in by Jameson Williams. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure. And in for the Lions touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Lions are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And that'll make the score 14-0. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Onto the field now come the Bears. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. On first down, Fields. That's complete to Mooney. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. Well, this defense for the Lions, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 22. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Lions to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Back to throw. Herron. Got a man complete. It's Taylor. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one goes for 30 yards. Operating from the gun, Herron. He finds his man, complete. It's Larson. Down inside the 10. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there. Doing it again with his third touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Lions have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
Point after, right down the middle, and it's now 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Left side here, that's the tight end Fant. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 6 catches, 83 yards, and a touchdown.
That was a nice job there pulling that one in. Now, this is an offense that will certainly spread the ball around a bit, and this is a guy that defenses had better focus on.
Fields throw complete there to Smith-Schuster. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Flying in for that sack, Aiden Hutchinson.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 39. A strong pickup of 11 keeps their drive alive. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. 21-0 our score after 1. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. To throw is Fields. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Fields. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive, stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. Completes it to Fant on the right side. And he is trying to get to the marker. Going to depend on the spot, but I'm not sure he got there, and he did not. Well, it was a long attempt to begin with, so the fake you might have known was somewhat of a possibility. Credit to the defense, though. They weren't fooled.
You're right, they weren't fooled, and they were in a position of having to play it both ways. Guard for the fake, but you still want to rush the kicker because it was a makeable kick. So they ended up getting the best out of the whole thing. Stuffed the fake, and they take over the ball.
Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. On the counter, it's Taylor. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. He'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Kmet has it. What a grab. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And his throw here's incomplete. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Herron. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew covered. What'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that
answer. That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. So everything else has gone right in this first half. Kind of follows that it would for their kicker, too, as he adds 3 more onto the lead.
Yeah, and the way that this one's gone, definitely not looking like he's going to have to worry too much about pressure kicks late in the game. He can go out there free and easy, just work on his form, and he knocked that one through.
The Chicago offense set to get started. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy. Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. On play action, Fields. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Josh Allen, give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at third down and long. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Being chased out left. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Now the veteran Thomas Morstead on to punt it away. And taken at the 46. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way.
Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Lions are able to add on to their first-half lead. Extra point attempt here still to come. And the route is on here in this first half. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. 1-play drive and into the end zone for 6. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be out of bounds here, a yard shy of the 25 at the 24. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Fields on target to Mooney. 1st down, Chicago. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Now a 1st down throw, Fields. There's Mooney with another catch. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the 50, here's Fields. Completes a Mooney on the slant. And he will have the Bears first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Aiden Hutchinson. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. Meanwhile, Fields throw into the hands of Fant. And it's going to be another first down as they get him to the ground at the Lions' 31-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Fields. Flushed out right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Jeremy Chinn picks it off. And the Lions are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Operating from the gun. Herron. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Herron. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. He juked him. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5, and it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. The Bears going to get one more possession in this first half. And this is a spot late in the clock near midfield, though. Maybe take a couple chances, see if you get in field goal range.
You do that if you have trust, and this should be a position now where the great ones, they relish this opportunity to try and put points on the board.
Fields throw there, complete to Mooney. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Working with a 2nd and 4.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Here's Fields. This is the tight end Fant. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. Now another timeout call. By the offense as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Fields now to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll work this down inside the 30. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And now a timeout defensively after that 1st down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will do it for this 1st half. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking, and we will skip the highlight show this week, get right back to this Week 3 matchup. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the 2nd half is underway. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. And it's hard to imagine that the 1st half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the 2nd half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack and make sure you take care of the ball.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 1st down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And this is taken in at the 5. And he will step out of bounds all the way down at the 5-yard line. A big play there for Detroit. 48 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
That's complete right side to Kmet. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone.
And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Cole Kmet there to make the grab. And the Lions take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. And it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the 2nd half. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now it's Fields. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Trying to run for it with Pollard. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And he fields it cleanly. Nifty move. The danger of a punt that good? A 16-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Detroit's offense ready to take over. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass, obviously. They need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the 3rd quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they've got this game well in hand.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. Fields. The throw out to Ross. He's got it. And he will have the Bears 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. On 1st down, it's Fields. Out to the right here to Wilson. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. 2nd and 4. To the air again, Fields. Escaping the pressure right. And this one is incomplete.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the 1st time. He did find a way to break, contain, and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun, here's Fields. And that is incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
The kick by Elliott is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
The Lions offense set to take over. The football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage, while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
Throwing on first down. Herron over the middle, complete. It's Taylor. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
On first down, Herron dancing to his left. And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Thankfully for the offense, a fortuitous bounce there on the fumble goes out of bounds because they're down here in the red zone. You don't want to lose one there.
You don't want to lose one, and the best part, because it went out of bounds, they retained possession, still have an opportunity to put points on the board.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Lions just continue to roll. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
To throw again on second down. Fields going right back to Fant. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
On 1st and 10, Fields. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And he's tackled at the 38, but they doubled their yardage. The play started at the 19, and they gained 19.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. That's Gregory Rousseau getting in there to bring him down.
Well, partner, you and I will be headed to the airport, but after this game, when it's interview time, someone's going to ask this quarterback what hurt worse, the interceptions or the sacks. His whole day, it's been rough. Barring a miraculous comeback, this offense isn't going to win this game, but he's probably going to say what hurt most is the loss.
3 buzz. 44 the mark. 44.
Throwing on second and long. Fields, he's got his big tight end, Fant. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Chase Young picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And they will remain well behind.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. Throwing to start the drive. Herron. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A big gainer there on the catch and run. 37 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. He finds his man, complete. It's Day. Call it a gain of a yard, and that'll make it 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Cole Kmet, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Lions are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Bears offense out there set and ready to go. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Throwing on first down. Fields got his man complete over the middle. That's Ross. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now a second down and 6. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That finds Smith-Schuster. Nice grab. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Now this one complete on the slant route. Finding room at midfield. Loose inside the 30. A big play there on the catch and run. 61 yards.
I'm going rhetorical on you here. Could that pass have been delivered any better to the receiver downfield?
Not at all. And when he catches that, he didn't even have to break stride. Full speed. That's why he got all that yardage after the catch.
Timing, timing, timing.
Back to throw again. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Lions are going to have it here at their own 15. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
And they'll be stopped right at the 30. On a play that started back at the 15, they pick up 15. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On first down, Fields and hitting Juju on the slant. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Lions are going to have it here at their own 15. And my goodness, CD. I mean, this defense just continuing to dominate. They're really dominating on both sides of the ball, but for the defense, that's now 3 interceptions for them here in this ball game.
And what a great teaching tape for this defensive coordinator, right? When they go back and review this game, what does he always tell us that he preaches to his team? We're going to lead the league in effort. Well, they're doing that in this game as well as making big plays.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. That'll be caught. It's St. Brown. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the third quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the fourth quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
Get in the weight room. Mike, check. 59. Target.
Back to throw. Herron. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Partner, they've been aggressive, airing it out all game long, and no better evidence than those last 2 snaps. They weren't going to beat this coverage, though, 2 plays in a row, and that one falls incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Herron. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down. Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. But he wasn't really big on that. He was big on going ahead and scoring. He's got it reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us.
Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. A shotgun snap. Fields steps away to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Throwing on 3rd down. Fields. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And that is no good. And they will remain well behind.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through, and that one winds up no good.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. Throwing to start the drive. Herron, he finds his man, complete. That's Larson. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. Onto the field now come the Bears. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play. to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Here's Fields. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Kirby Joseph. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get...
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill. But remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes. And that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
Now for the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Out of the end zone comes Smith. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone.
And now here is another interception. Jeremy Chinn picks it off, and the Lions are going to take possession of the football. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. On 1st and 10, Herron. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally, because here they are in the final moments of the fourth, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer in 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out.
Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. It's a squibber picked up around the 27.
Well, this was a blowout supported by both sides of the ball today, Charles. It would be easy to look at the offense and say, man, they were clicking, and they were, but don't forget about the effort by this defense as well.
Yeah, they weren't going to let up just because the lead was safe. They wanted to play as big a part in this game as their offense did in making this blowout. They needed to be noticed as well, and they played accordingly.
So for Detroit, it's an ideal start as they